We're going back to Tommy Pallotta in just a moment. But speaking of getting off the grid, people get confused. I come out and I say that peak oil is a fraud. The way the mega corporations, the big banks are promoting it, it's the same with water. They want to, and they admit this. We have the IMF World Bank documents from 2002. It's kind of like the last James Bond movie that came out, where they're down in South America, and the big mega corporation is blocked up the water to the major city, and now they've come in and privatized the water. That's based on true stories, real things that have happened. You know, go back to Guatemala or other countries where they were releasing mold and locust and beetles and weevils to kill their crops. In Africa, this is industrial espionage. So our energy needs are going way up. There are issues with water and oil and things, and the big corporations are blocking truly independent, real systems. You notice they'll give you a tax incentive here in the U.S. to get solar panels, but they're not the best type, and they make you share it with the power grid so that you're still dependent on their system. And we know they're buying up water supplies to jack up prices. So they're creating artificial scarcity. But either way you slice it, the system is trying to create scarcity, okay, to bring in this post-industrial world. And that's what the Copenhagen Summit was. That's why when the Third World saw the plan and saw that it had bigger tax increases on them than even the West, they said no, and it went down in flames. And that's why I love everything Tommy Pallotta does, because you look at all the crud coming out of Hollywood, how they're dumbing society down. Every production Tommy's made, every book, every film, every website, every major motion picture, they're really complex and challenging. I mean, I'm a pretty smart guy. I'm, average, medium intelligence, and these are challenging for me. Very challenging. And that's what they're supposed to be. But speaking of getting off the grid, two of our sponsors, you notice everything I promote is about being self-sufficient. Gardens, being independent, not being totally dependent on fiat currency. A Cola Blue. It's an atmospheric water generator that grabs water out of the air. It looks like a water cooler, a cross between an R2-D2 and a water cooler without the water bottle on top. And their smallest unit gets 7.5 gallons a day, sends it through a 7 to 12-stage filtering process, depending on which unit you buy. They've got big ones for, small towns if you want them. Very affordable. Acolablue.com. In a year, you'll make your money back if you're buying bottled water. This is out of the atmosphere. You can't get cleaner water. Acolablue.com, 800-691-6043. The best, purest drinking water you can find anywhere. They've got a lot of specials going right now. Acolablue.com or 800-691-6043. And another one of our great sponsors, we've had these for 3 years. Our listeners love them. Buy one, run part of your house or your work shed or your campsite. Buy 5 or 6 of them, run your whole house, and it's a good solar panel that really works, a little easy-to-use control unit and the batteries. It's mysolarbackup.com. The government doesn't own the sun yet, folks. This is a great system to get into solar. Call and get a free information package, 877-327-0365, 877-327-0365. That's mysolarbackup.com. Big links up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Now, we're going to get more into the production of this and some more hints of what you'll discover at this 21st century multimedia fusion at Collapsus.com. Only our listeners for the next 24 hours can get in. This isn't launching for 3 or 4 days. You can get a sneak peek in the next 24 hours by entering the secret code, not any secret anymore, Infowars, 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 at Collapsus.com, COLLAPSUS.com. And, of course, the producer of this, the director of this, is Tommy Pallotta. But, Tommy, before we get more into this, you wanted to play not just a trailer, but a 1-minute sneak peek from one section of the Collapsus universe.
Yeah, I want you to guess who this is based on.
Okay, let's go ahead and play the clip. Here it is.
Do not believe the lies. Which lies? The lies the corporations and the countries want you to believe. We don't have time for this. Our environment and our planet are in a fragile balance, and they want to destroy that balance. Oh, I see. You think I'm just some crazy conspiracy theorist. You honestly believe that no one could game the system and exploit the current energy crisis. Do not be naive. Look how even now they exploit the natural gas crisis for profit. Everybody's a player. It's a big game for them, and no one is innocent. Question your sincerity. I'll send you something. Send me your email address. I'll get you the files. You'll know what I know. You'll see what I see. Sure that's it? Send it again. Make sure I have it.
Tommy, you sent us 2 other files, but we couldn't get one of them to work. Was that the right file?
Yeah, that was good.
I don't know. Who is that based on? Tommy Pallotta?
Not me. No, that was an American who was living here, working at a comedy club, and he was already a big fan of yours. And I knew that we wanted to introduce this sort of this character who was sort of checking up on everybody and everything, and is a guy that always has all the facts, and it seems hard to believe. But then, as you sort of go along the story, you realize that he's right too many times.
And you've interviewed a lot of heavy hitters for this documentary as well. But again, it's multiple documentaries. Some of it's kind of the action adventure, whodunit, investigation. Other things, it's talking head interviews. And tell us about the group that financed this. And I mean, this is going to be airing on television, is it not?
Well, the documentary is already aired on Dutch television here, and so what we.
But that's only one slice of it.
Yeah, that's only one slice. This is really a mixture of gaming, fiction, and documentary. And even within that, we're mixing live action and animation. So it really is just sort of a remix of all popular culture and things that are going on right now.
And this was an attempt to try to get young people to tune into the European-style documentary, correct?
Yeah, I mean, that's there's a social media aspect to it. The way that we tell the stories mostly through video blogs, with the characters, talking to each other in that way. A lot of this is going to link to YouTube videos and things like that. So again, I encourage everybody to follow us at Collapsus News on Twitter, and to talk about energy conspiracies and to use the hashtag Collapsus.
Well, the big positive aspect of this, and I want to see if you concur or expand on it, is that we know there's a lot of, I mean, this is on record. I've seen stuff from the 70s with General Motors suppressing engines that go 60, 70 miles to the gallon and have, powerful horsepower behind them. I mean, there's a lot of basic stuff that's been suppressed, a lot of technologies that have been suppressed, because obviously the big energy giants don't just want profits, they want control.
Well, I think those two are intertwined. And I mean, it's pretty obvious now that who's profiting the most, oil companies. I mean, you only have to read the newspaper to find that out. That's not a conspiracy. We know that for a fact.
Tommy, I know there's a lot more to talk about dealing with Collapsus.com, but do you want to open the phones up and take some calls?
Sure, let's do that.
All right, we're going to clear the phone board so we have calls specifically for Tommy Pallotta. And give us your ideas, that the media would call conspiracy theories, about suppressed technology, suppressed energy, what you think about peak oil. I mean, clearly they're hyping it to create artificial scarcity, but it doesn't matter either way. They're trying to block energy so they can make higher profits and have greater control, not just over the West, but particularly the third world, where Lord Monckton's research and others have clearly exposed it is a death sentence for tens of millions of people per year. 1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231.